I got a good message for you guys today. Something that was on my heart while I was running. And I decided to take a break from my run and connect with you guys. Ironically, as I'm disconnecting from the world, right? So I'm gonna just connect with you guys real quick. Something I think that's been very powerful. I'm sure for a long time, but recently I think the last few years has been, the conversation of depression. A lot more people are open with it. A lot more people understand it. I know for so long in my life, I thought depression was, not wanting to live anymore, wanting to take my life, things like that, which is depression. But I also know that there's other forms of depression that we don't even know that we experience and why we feel certain ways. And, just to put this out there, this is why I disconnect often. We actually came out with a shirt, and I'll talk about that later. But one of the reasons why I disconnect often is to connect with my peace, is to connect with my appreciation. You guys know me, I come out here in areas like this, whether it's hiking or some type of water, just to get away in nature, just to connect. And, one thing that I feel like has caused depression in a lot of us, and of course there's other things. One of the things I feel like has caused depression is comparison. I feel like comparison, leads to depression. Comparing our lives to other people, comparing our happiness to other people's happiness, comparing our success to other people's success. And we live in a time where it's so easy to compare, even if you don't want to compare. I mean, you pick up your phone, you scroll, and, you see the happy relationship. You see the person traveling the world. You see the person making moves with their life. All these things, and instead of those things inspiring us, sometimes, it discourages us because it makes us think that we aren't where we should be. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that we can make is comparing our lives to other people's lives, because you have to understand something. Your journey is your journey. Your life is your life. Your path is your path. We all have different paths in life. And the more we compare our journey to other people's journey, the more we'll appreciate our path of our lives. And so I really want you to think about that and think about areas in your life where you're comparing your life and you're allowing somebody else's more make you feel like you're less. And let's be honest, a lot of times it's somebody else's pretend more. Social media just shows the highlights, right? We live in a time where perception has become our God. And I know this might seem over the top, but we really live in a time where perception has become our God. People are more concerned about the perception of them than the reality of them. They want to convince people they want to make people think they're a certain way than letting the world see how they truly are, right? A lot of insecurity, a lot of significance things that are driven in that whole conversation. And a lot of times people just show the things that make them look better, that make them look happier, that make them look more successful, that make them look peaceful for whatever reason. There's a lot of reasons why people do that. And so what we do is we compare our lives with something that's not even a reality of theirs, and we start to feel less about ourselves. So I want to tell you right now, man, appreciate your life. Just because somebody got something going on with theirs, that has nothing to do with your life. Like, straight up. Don't let it make you feel less. Don't let somebody else's pretend reality, maybe is their real reality, who knows? But don't let that make you feel less about your life. Okay? Don't let it make you feel less about your relationship. Don't let it make you feel less about, your goals moving forward and all these things, because that's the easiest way to start to make us feel like we're not enough. And we've all been through it. I've even been through it, honestly. Like, I've seen stuff like, man, like I should be doing this and I should be doing that. No, I shouldn't. I should be doing what God has called me to do. I should be doing, what's best for my life. Because if we pull back the curtains on a lot of people's lives, who knows? Your life could be a lot better than theirs. You might be thanking God that you're not in their shoes. You're wishing to be in their shoes, but once you get in their shoes, you realize that their walk, their path, their journey, their climb is a lot harder than yours. And what they were showing you was just something that you can perceive to be great, something that you can perceive to be good, something that you can perceive to be successful. We live in a world full of fakeness. I'm just going to be honest and real with you. A lot of people are more concerned about how people think about them, how people see them, how people view them, than actually how they see themselves when they look in the mirror. Don't let perception become your God. Don't let people's opinions become your God. Don't be a slave to what people think about you. Don't be a slave to fitting the trend. Don't be a slave to being like everybody else. Don't be a slave to likes. Don't be a slave to popularity. Don't be a slave to views. Don't be a slave to followers. Don't be a slave to any of those things. Because at the end of the day, all that happens, and I'll tell you the result of that. The result of that is going to be this. You're going to die, okay? Because we're all going to die one day. Hopefully it's long, long, long down the road. But you're going to die unfulfilled because you lived a life full of pleasing everybody else. You lived a life full of making everybody else happy except yourself. You lived a life making everybody else fulfilled except yourself. You live a life of making everybody successful or whatever it may be except yourself. And that's not a way to live life. And we're living in a time now where we sit there and we live our whole entire lives trying to please people, trying to make people believe that we're something. We plan our whole entire life saying, okay, how can I make people think that I'm this? Instead of just looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? My biggest concern, my greatest competition is you. Right there. The person in the mirror that you see every single day, because I refuse to make the world happy and I'm dying inside. I refuse to do that because any gain is not worth that loss. Any gain of whatever success, whatever you want to call it, any gain is not worth losing yourself. Period. Period. So I want you to look yourself in the mirror today. I want you to think about your life. I want you to appreciate your life. And as best as you can, because I know it's easier said than done, because we all do it at times, I want you to stop comparing your life. And then when you do compare your life, I want you to have a fact that makes you stop comparing your life. All right? I want you to have a fact about that and make you stop comparing your life, because the more we scroll, the more I feel like a lot of people start to feel less about themselves. A lot of people start feeling more depressed. A lot of people start to wish they had this, to wish they had that. And the more you wish you had something, the less you'll realize what you actually do have. And you actually have life. You actually have breath in your body. You actually have health. There's so many things that you can look around and feel every single day to be appreciative about. But, you know, that's on you. And I want to share that message today because I feel like that's one of the biggest causes of depression today is comparison. Because comparison makes us feel like we're not doing anything because we think they're doing it all. We think that they're making moves when maybe they're not. Maybe they are. Who cares, right? Them making moves, them how you feel about them making moves, how you think about them making moves is not going to do anything for your life. So why waste time on something that's not going to do anything for your life? That's not going to move you forward in any type of way, right? If you want to make a change, it all starts with you. If you want to make a change, look in the mirror. All right, if you want to make a change, appreciate where you're at today. Because if you don't appreciate where you're at today, you're never going to move from where you're at today. Understand that, all right? I'm proud of you for not giving up. I'm proud of you for fighting through everything you're fighting through. I'm proud of you for conquering your struggles. And I'm proud of you for being the best you, all right? My whole message in life is that I want you to be the greatest you. The you, not the perceived you, not the you that you think everybody wants you to be. That real, that raw, that truthful you, all right? Go do that for me. Love you guys, man. If you felt this, say straight up, I got some things coming for y'all, man. Trust me. I disconnected this last month. It's important to disconnect because if you're always connected, eventually you will burn out. I promise you that. Nothing wrong with disconnecting from the world. Nothing wrong with taking time for yourself. Always remember that. Never feel guilty for putting yourself first, because if you're not the best you, how can you be a best you for others that need you to be the best you? Think about that. Think about that. So you're not selfish for doing that. You're actually thinking about other people because you want to be the best you can be. So when I took this break this last month, I had to disconnect. I had to recharge because I had to be the best me, because I know the best me is going to make a better you. All right. You feel that? So let's get it. It's rehab time. I appreciate you guys. Be yourself. Comparison is one of the number one cause to depression. All right. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. If you want to make your life better, let it be because you want to make your life better. You want to make a change, let it be because you want to make a change. Not because you see somebody else doing something, not because you think that you have to be something in order to get something, right? And I got a lot of stuff I want to say before I get off of here. I'm going to leave you with this, though. If you have to change who you are in a negative way, if you have to change who you are to get what you want to get, that should tell you that you don't really need it in your life. I want you to think about that, because so many of us, we become a slave to perception. We become something that we're not in order to get the success that we want. Ask yourself this question: is that success really meant for my life if I have to change who I am just to get it? And if you say yeah, I mean, that's on you. But really think about that question, all right? Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Got to get this running because these miles ain't going to run itself. It's rehab time. Let's get it.